Hi everyone and welcome to Club 6 episode 3 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM22 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So, in the last episode I was in the midst of a really bad run of form. Fortunately, we've kind of stopped that in its tracks. A couple of wins recently in the Premier League, which is good. Also got a draw in the Champions League in the group stage against Bayern Munich as well, which was fantastic. Today we play Burnley. Time to keep mounting up those points if we can. Let's see how we get on. Welcome back to Arsenal. So it has been very inconsistent. Those sort of big run of bad results that I was in the middle of last time out did continue a little bit. I'll just show you that. If we go into the fixture list, you'll see last time I played with you, we were at Chelsea away from home, and it was smack bang in the middle of this really bad run of form. Southampton, United, Monaco, Chelsea, City, Bayern, all losses, 6 in a row. I knew that it was going to be a little bit easier when we got to this next spot. And then we got a draw against Leicester that kind of just halted it a little bit, enough to feel a little bit better about ourselves. And that meant that we could go into the Forest and Villa games with a little bit more confidence. And it worked out pretty well for us, to be honest. A 4-0 win against Forest and a 3-1 win against Aston Villa really changed our morale a little bit. That led to a 3-3 draw against Bayern Munich in our group stage of the Champions League. Considering we lost 3-0 away from home to them, not a bad result, really. And actually, Martinez got a couple of goals, which is pretty spectacular because he's been very, very poor. So that's really positive. Hopefully that will encourage him to find his scoring boots again. Today we get Burnley. Burnley are going to be a decent side for us to play, I think. If we go into the actual table itself, we'll find Burnley behind my face cam down here in about 18th position, just in those relegation spots, which is interesting for us to have to play them at this point. We're in 10th. Now, we have been down as far as like 13th and 14th in that bad run of form, so things are looking up a little bit. Today, we really, really need those points. If we can get them and just move ourselves up the table a little bit, maybe things will start to look a little bit better and we can be back in the conversation for those European spots. So, let's go and see what we can do. So here on the tactics screen, you'll find that we do have a couple of issues that we're trying to sort out. At the moment, we've got a couple of injuries. Saka and Damsgaard, both of our right wingers, unfortunately, are out for today's game. Saka is out for the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and Damsgaard out for the next few days. So that shouldn't be too bad from him. But it does mean that we don't have our right side option for today's game. So we are playing McNeil out there instead, and Arobio comes in on this left-hand side to cover the left wing where McNeil normally plays. We've had a couple of other conversations. Tierney at the back. He's on a 6.7. He's improved a little bit recently, but the big problem we've got is that the guy that I bring in, Esbrand, this guy here, Esbrand, he hasn't played well either, which is disappointing. So it's a bit of a, again, I've got a bit of an issue with the left fullback that I've had previously with Watford, if you remember. Pobega and Carlos have been rotating a little bit in this central midfield role with Dupay as well. And at the moment, Pobega holds that spot just because he's got a slightly better XG rating. Not XG rating, is it? It's average rating. I'll get my head together in a second. And the only other one that we've got to talk about is Fasanella and Martinez up top. Now, Martinez played in the key game against Bayern, and I think I'm going to continue to do that, put him in the European games a little bit, and Fasanella can play more in the Premier League games. Fasanel's doing all right for me, to be honest. If we go and check in with him briefly, 6 starts, 4 sub-appearances, 5 goals, 1 assist. Again, what's the XG rating? The average rating is only a 6.8, so there still needs to be room for improvement here, but at the moment, it feels like this whole team is just a bit stuttering and not quite performing to what they potentially could do. And we're going to have to work a little bit on that one, I think. But for now, we're doing all right. We're sitting in mid-table. We can begin to move forward with a couple of good performances and results. So let's see if we can get one today. For the game against Burnley, we go with Lafont in goal, Benabid in right back, Tierney at left back, Lever and Franco in central defence, Pobega, Gavi and Bayens in central midfield, McNeil on the right, Robbio on the left and Fasanella up top, and a 9-man bench all ready and raring to get involved if they need to. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So, having turned round recent results, it's important that we carry on. So I've pumped the fist, told them I expect nothing but a win from this game going forward, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we are at home as well, which helps us against a team that are struggling in the bottom of the Premier League in terms of relegation spots. This should be a game that we win very comfortably, but what I've found about this particular Arsenal side is that potentially their consistency levels are not particularly strong. So it could be one of those days where it works brilliantly for us. It might not be. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm glad that run of form has kind of gone, those losses in a row, and we've won a couple of games since then at least. And now it's about consolidating that and trying to continue on in that sort of run of form whilst we've got the teams that we're playing that, in theory, are beatable for who we are. Obviously, there's a top echelon of teams that are maybe above us at the moment. But for now, we are showing it. Lever gets a good header from the near post corner routine from Bayern's corner. And we do go 1-0 up after 3 minutes, which is really positive. As I say, I think there's probably half a dozen sides actually in and around us at the moment that are potentially just better than us. We're due to finish in about 5th place this season. If we can get a winning run together, that is still absolutely a possibility. There's no issue with that at this point in the season, but it just shows that we do have some that are around us that are just a little bit further along in their development than we are, and we've got some work to do. So can we continue to do it today? We're playing the ball really very nicely around the top of the box, and that's a really lovely ball through. And I think for about the second time on the highlights that we've seen, McNeil gets through and doesn't quite manage to put it past the keeper, but is playing pretty well out on that right-hand side just for now. We had an opportunity to get the ball in the box, and we don't quite take it, but fortunately we sort it out at the back. Benabid, eventually the right fullback that was sent to stay back, manages to sort that out for us, and we regain possession and build up an attack for ourselves. Switched it over to the left. That's a lovely ball and a brilliant run from Tierney. And then the cross over to the far side. McNeil gets the header on again. And for the third time, doesn't really get his chance on target and properly cause the goalkeeper an issue. And that is a bit of an issue for ourselves because we can get countered on quite quickly. And we do there from Burnley. But fortunately, they get their angles wrong as well. But those 3 chances that I think I've seen from McNeil off that right-hand side, it's encouraging to know that he can play out on that right-hand side when we get injuries and all that kind of stuff. But he really, really needs to put them away and just help us get a little bit of sense of security and safety in our matches, really. Playing the ball around at the back, which is what we tend to do. We try and be a passing team and use our abilities on the football to get us through the lines, as it were. Occasionally there's moments where it doesn't quite work out and it's intercepted and that causes a problem. On this occasion, it doesn't. I think he might have been offside. That might have been the 4th opportunity for McNeil that doesn't quite work out. We'll see when we get a chance to look at the VAR decision. I thought it was. He just moved a little bit too early. Again, really good build-up play, good ball through. The encouragement is that the chances are there. The slight dissatisfaction is that we're not taking them. And it has pretty much all been McNeil who has been on the end of that so far. But here's a chance for Fasanella, and he puts it straight at the goalkeeper, enough really for the goalkeeper to parry it away either side a bit more, and maybe we would got something there. But another corner comes in, and this time they get it cleared and go on the counter-attack, but the counter dies. But they come back with their own corner to the far post, and then it's headed over the top of the bar. So you can see they are creating chances, opportunities, should I say, for themselves. They're not really putting too many on target, which I'm kind of happy about. And we just need that extra little bit of quality in front of goal. And then I think this game might be beyond them, to be honest. But we have got to do that. Bayern's through, Fasanella, and he hits the woodwork. And the defenders just about sort it out. And again, we're a little bit unlucky. But, I mean, you can see they've had 3 shots at goal, 0 on target, 6 and 5 for us. Our XG rating is creeping up to the 1, but not quite there yet. We've had lots of possession, really, 64% currently of the possession in this first 35 minutes. So we're looking really quite comfortable in the game. But games only become comfortable properly when you get a little bit more of a lead than what we've currently got, because a sucker punch goal could change this. We managed to get through to half-time at 1-0. All of it is in our favour, really. We just need that little bit of quality. So let's see if we can get it. So we're going to go... what am I going to do? I don't want to dig them out for any reason. I think we'll go outstretched arms. We'll build them up. I'm pleased with created loads, and the scoreboard reflects that. It kind of doesn't a little bit as much as I'd like, but it will do for now. We're actually going to increase the mentality of the team from balanced to positive, and we're going to go into the shouts, and we're going to fire them up at the start of this second half. See if we can get off to a good start in this second half and get us that extra little bit of a cushion in the lead. But we'll see. They go long from a goal kick, and they hold the ball very, very well. And then they drop it back into midfield to keep moving. Can we keep them at bay? We're doing all right. The defensive shape is good. You can see that gradually the team is kind of moving out and pushing them a little bit, and just keeping them honest in terms of just moving that ball as much as possible. And there was the interception chance. We got it momentarily, but it just fell very kindly back to a Burnley player. They had a long shot that went over the top of the bar. So the build-up was good, but I think our defensive shape kept them at bay as well and reduced them to a very, very long shot. So I'm not too disappointed with that. Here's another chance to get the ball forward. We didn't do it particularly well, but we did regain possession. So a brilliant ball in from the left-hand side, and it's Fasanella again on the end of that one. Powers the ball at the goalkeeper, but he just does enough to get a hand on it, pushes it back out, and the defender clears it. So the goalkeeper's obviously having a reasonably good game for them. He's on a 7.5, and that says all you need to know about the game, really. We're creating lots. He's just on one and keeping us out at the moment, other than the one goal that we got very early that gives us a narrow lead. Pobega on the ball. McNeil drops in and gets involved in play. There's the overlapping fullback on the right-hand side. Gets a chance to cross, does so. Goes all the way over to the far side, and the cross comes back in again. It's a little bit scrappy. And then we get a good chance at the top of the 6-yard box. But again, that goalkeeper is absolutely on one today. And we are really struggling to beat him. So we're going to change it up a little bit, bring a couple of fresh players in. You can see some of our players are a little bit low in conditioning at this point in the match. Dwight McNeil on a 6.8, and that's kind of shown, as well as Fasanella. Those two not really doing it in front of goal, are they? So what we're going to do is going to move Bayans across to that right-hand side, and then we're going to bring Cleverley into the attacking midfield position instead of McNeil. We'll take Fasanella out and bring Martinez in, who did score recently for the first time in quite a long time, it must be said. So hopefully that's boosted his confidence up a little bit. And then we're going to take one of these yellow cards out, and we'll rest Tierney, bring Esbrand in, and see if he can get any form of better performance out. But Tierney finally getting a 7-point-something average rating for a game himself, which has been very few and far between. So positives today. The positive mainly will be if we can take the points, though. And at the moment, it's still sitting on a bit of a knife edge, really, with only that 1-goal lead. So the time is flying by, which is okay. But it's at these moments now where you think they could just get 1 goal, and that could take the points away from us, really, at this point in the match. And they do have a good attempt, but again, it goes over the top of the bar for a goal kick. It's all a little bit nervy, and there's a goal kick for Burnley. Hopefully our defenders can win this, and they do. Arroyo takes over, drops it back into the defence, and we set ourselves up again to try and work the way through the lines. And we kind of... it was a little bit lucky. We got lucky with the ball over the top. We eventually won it again in the midfield area, and then there's a real good long shot, I think possibly from Cleverley, but it goes narrowly wide again. And just again, the build-up play is actually very good. And here we go with some more of that. Where's the quality in front of goal? The quality isn't here just at the moment. And again, it's Bayans that curls the left-footed shot just wide of that far post. And again, we lack the confidence and the quality in front of goal. But we do just about get away with it. I say get away with it. I mean, we had 22 shots and 12 on target for a 2.2 XG rating. Goalkeeper for them had a phenomenal game, as did ours, to be honest. They had 11 shots, 3 on target. Our goalkeeper Lafont got a 7.4. But, to be honest, we were a little bit fortunate that we didn't come a cropper, and it's only because we could not find the quality in front of goal. Build-up play, defensive play was all very good. Just need to put the ball in the back of the net.